Good morning to all you beautiful degenerates out there in FinTwit and Discord. Today is October 27th, and I'd like to welcome you all back to another thrilling edition of Reactive Recaps. My name is Rancid R2, and the man beside me needs no introduction. It's none other than Yellowbird himself. How are we doing today, Yellow?
Pretty good, pretty good. How are you?
Not bad. Fuck Up Fridays are kind of my favorite. So if this is your first time listening to the program, welcome. And congratulations on taking the first steps of moving out of your parents' basement. The format of the show, I'm just going to go over quickly, is very simple. We find some actionable setups every day. We're going to point them out in the futures and the options market. You're going to take that knowledge and hopefully apply it to the afternoon session. So maybe you idiots can make some money for a change. We'll do this every other day. We're going to be on here doing it, but today's a special day because it's Friday, and that means it's Fuck Up Friday, where Yellowbird and I open up our books and show you transparency to show you we ourselves are no gods in the stock market. I fuck up plenty. I'm sure Yellowbird makes plenty of mistakes, just less than me, I'm sure. So it's important that any honest trader not only shows you his success, but shows you his failures and shows you where they went wrong, because everybody doesn't. So for those that are also listening for the first time, we only cover a couple of things. We only cover SPY, QQQ, MES, and NES. I mean, M and Q.
Yeah.
The reason why we do those are simple. High liquidity, easy spreads, easy repeatable setups. So with that, let's just get into the meat and potatoes of this. Yellow, let's start with you.
All right. So for my Friday fuck up, I did this one yesterday. We opened up. This is MNQ 2-minute. I've got the 5-minute over here and the 15-minute down here. We opened up. We went up, tested the Globex level here. This previous day high is incorrect. Sorry about that. This is the correct Globex high. We went above it. We rejected back down, bound down below it. This long wick that went below it, I went short, took all this down. Had this trend line drawn here. We broke above the trend line. That morning, I was on Spaces with Wolf Financial and a bunch of other people. And everyone else, the whole morning, was sitting here talking about shorting every pop and just shorting every pop. We got this big drive up right here, and I stepped out of my system, and this is where I fucked up. Is I stepped out of my system and I let other people get into my head, and I started trading their system. After this big rush up, I kind of FOMO'd in on this drop right here. Instead of seeing the obvious area of support turned resistance right in this area, I decided to flip it and go long on any drop. And I loaded up on this candle right here. I loaded pretty heavily. And as you can see, it never went in my direction at all. It just cascaded down, and it cascaded down all the way 200 points right there. And that is my Friday fuck up, is where I did not follow my system. I started going and I got hyped up by other people that I was trading with, and I started letting what they were doing and what they were saying affect my trading system. And additionally, I loaded too heavy. So that is my fuck up. It cost me dearly yesterday. Luckily, I was able to recover later in the day with some of these other trades. Was able to get short in some other positions and everything like that and make up that money. But all right, and that is my Friday fuck up. Back to you, Rancid.
Thanks for sharing that, Yellow. That's a tough one, but isn't it a great feeling when you do have those, you get behind the 8 ball initially and you're able to not get tilted from it and actually still find those actionable setups and fight your way back? I sometimes feel that's a better feeling than coming out green on the first trade.
Oh, most definitely. because then you know for a fact that you are in control of your emotions and you can capitalize on setups later on in the day and not going full tilt.
I think it's such a great feeling. Now, my Friday fuck up is a rookie mistake that I tragically make more than I should. I consider myself somewhat of a momentum trader. I follow the action. If a lot of candles are going one direction, I'm going to end up thinking that's the direction I'm going to go in. So if you can look at my screen, I highlighted a big yellow oval-looking thing to highlight my stupidity. As you can see on the chart, we are having a little bit, where it's a downward day to start. We're having a little bit of a bounce and a pullback. Now, after the third or fourth bar in this oval where you can see my little cursor is, I naturally assume that we're going to continue to go up. So let me tell you, I buy right here at the bottom of this third bull bar. So, yeah, it goes up for a little bit. I see a wick. I don't like that wick. But my confidence, look at all those bars. We're moving. We've been dumping all week. We're going to keep going. Oh, look, another little wick. That got me a little worried too, but we're still making a higher high. Lower low. Let's go. Red candle. Okay. I can manage with that. It's going to come back. Gave me a little hopium on the second candle. That wick I didn't love. Red one, we're still on the same channel. We're not going up or down. We're just kind of trying to figure this out. It's going up. Don't worry. Uh-oh. Goes down. Do I sell it? Absolutely not. Why would I? I'm totally right. Second bear bar. Do I sell? Nope. Why would I do that? It's just going to bounce. I'm going to be totally % right. Well, you can see for the rest of the day, it didn't. So my Friday fuck up is being predictive, not reactive. I'm trying to tell the market where I want it to go instead of listening to the market telling me where it is going. So I highly recommend that you take these examples to heart, and you just got to be as willing to buy as possible. I try every day to look at each trade and each candle objectively, but it's hard and it's something you're going to have to work at. But if you can do that and you can separate yourself from that, there's nothing stopping you. Nothing. And that's my basic Friday fuck up there, Yellow.
Yeah. I like it how both of our Friday fuck ups are in the same area. Actually, we both we're looking long, just a few minutes apart, and we kind of both fell flat on our face there.
A little bit of humility never hurt anybody, right?
No, no, it never did.
No, but it's a good reminder of that you are not as smart as you think you are either in this market, and it can smack you in the face at any second. I don't care if you've been trained 1 year, 2 years, 10 years, 30 years. Arrogance will get you cooked in this game every time.
Oh yeah, it's definitely when I start feeling overly confident, I know it's coming, and I can feel it coming, and when it comes, it still slaps me in the face. I haven't figured out the controlling of the overconfidence quite yet. I've been able to manage it where it doesn't absolutely cook me, but to eliminate it completely, haven't figured that one out yet.
Who knows if we ever will? I think that's an ongoing, and this actually brings us up to the next thing I wanted to talk to you about, Yellowbird, because the first episode got a good reaction from people, and I got an email from someone who watched it, wanting to ask you a direct question about how any tools or steps or strategies that you use to help you get yourself under control if you're fearful in a trade or something.
Okay, so when managing fear, the first thing I first start out with is I trust and have confidence within my trading system. I know that my trading system has more winners than losers, so I have confidence in that. So straight from the get, I can manage the fear by just trusting in my system. That helps manage some of it. Also, the way that I trade with an ATM strategy that automatically puts the set and the take profits. I take profit every 10 points, and my stop loss is at 10 points. And once I take profit at that first 10 points, my stop loss moves to break even, plus a couple of ticks to cover commissions. So once I enter a trade that that is in my system and that I trust my system with, I just completely take the managing of the trade out of the equation, and it's either going to work or it's not. And that helps eliminate that fear right there. Now, if I am losing and I start losing that confidence, and I feel that fear building up inside of me, if I continue to lose, what I like to do is stop and take a moment to reset, do some tactical breathing exercises that I learned from my time in the military, do some grounding techniques, things like that, get my mind off of the trading to try and control that fear and get rid of that fear and make sure that my emotions stay in check. So that is a quick synopsis of how I control my fear.
So, do you hear that out there, audience? The first thing you idiots need to come up with is a system. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's something repeatable, okay? The reason why Yellow can be so confident is because he's done the work. Now, what we're trying to do here, too, guys, is give you glimpses of our successful systems. So you can hopefully repeat it and then work on your managing your fear while you're in it. And I think what Yellow was saying about taking the human out of the trade, and that's what he means when he's doing this ATM, is so important for you guys to let that soak in. Hedge funds, big investment banks, computers are running their tradings. Algos, non-human emotional brains. So, if you want to trade like a big boy, you have to get your mental game like a big boy. So I just wanted to highlight, a lot of the other things that he said, should stop, take a break if you're having a bad trading day and all that. That's excellent advice, all well and good. But the first thing he said, I have confidence in my system. Do that. Find a system. There's plenty of them out there. And I think that's a good way to approach this stuff, I really do. If you don't have a framework, you're set up to fail.
Most definitely. I mean, like I always say, it's kind of my motto: plan your trades and trade your plans. And the more you automate that with the ATMs, or I'm only going to enter on trend lines or on these levels or this and that, the more emotions you take out, the better, the more successful you will be. You can take things in your strategy and build your strategy to automatically eliminate those emotions, to where as long as you follow your system and your ATM, those emotions will not become a problem. It's when we let our emotions get control of us and we trade out of our system, like I did yesterday on my Friday fuck up. I went out of my system and I freaking got taken to the cleaners on it. I let the emotion get better and I got burned.
And I think it's important, again, to say out loud, if you don't think you're going to take a losing trade, stop trading. Like, if you get upset that you lost a trade, stop trading. Because if you can't handle your losses, you don't deserve to win. All right? Everybody, I don't care who they are. Warren Buffett. You wouldn't want to see one of his red days, but I guarantee he has them. So if your loss aversion can't be conquered, or at least dealt with, stop trading, because you're never going to be good at it.
Yeah, most definitely.
And we don't mean to sound harsh, But we're not your parents. This is not kids games anymore. This is adult stuff. And if you guys want to make money doing this and have the financial freedom that you're seeing all these people on FinTwit and Discord parading around, they don't show you the work that they're doing on the back end too. Okay? Lambos are great. I guarantee they're sitting in front of a computer longer than they're sitting in that Lambo.
Yeah. It's everyone wants to see the success but doesn't want to put in the work.
That's the story of humans. It's crazy. Do you have any, now that we've kind of done the setup and we've talked to you guys, are you doing anything fun this weekend, Yellow?
No, not at all. In fact, quite the opposite. This weekend we have designated to clean out the garage. So that is what I will be doing this weekend, is cleaning out the garage. I've got a lot of woodworking projects out there that are about half done, so I've got to reorganize and kind of reset everything and get on top of those, along with just reorganizing the storage and everything out there. So that is not something I'm looking forward to.
No, nothing Halloween related?
No, we are not doing anything Halloween related. We are going to be doing the trick-or-treating on the night of Halloween. So we've got nothing. And plus it's a bye week for Alabama, so we got not much college football going on there.
I mean, the real college football team, Ohio State University, is playing, so I don't really know what you're talking about. Go Bucks.
My God.
I know. This is why our relationship's gonna work. Tumultuous.
We may have to end the podcast right here.
Oh, it could be worse. You're not from Michigan. I'm not from Auburn. We can make this work.
We can.
If it was Michigan, a different story. I have to go to my daughter at her school is having what they call a trunk or treat, which is a totally invented in the last 5 years, right? I've never heard of this when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
Where you decorate the trunk of your car and you go trick-or-treating around that?
Yeah, we did that last night, actually, for my son's school.
What did your son dress as?
So he just got a Scream mask and a black robe, and that's what he was dressed up as. My other son was Blue from Blue's Clue, and then my daughter was a Victorian ghost girl.
That's pretty specific.
Yeah, she's into the whole paranormal stuff and all that, so that costume was right up her alley.
That sounds awesome. We're doing Super Mario Brothers as a family. My daughter dictated that, and the funniest thing is, she wants to be obviously Princess Peach. So I thought she'd say, "Dad be Mario and Mom be Luigi." Nope, Dad has to be Bowser. Mom gets to be Mario. So I was like, what the heck? But that's how it is, and that's how it is.
Did you have to learn the song Peaches?
I've been practicing. Lucky for me, she won't really make that reference, but I've been practicing. It's gonna be fun. A lot of fun.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite times of year.
Most definitely. And kids definitely make it better. Kids are so much fun.
Yeah, they really do make the holidays great again. So, if you don't mind, Yellow, you want to talk about the stock market a little bit this week? Because it was a pretty intense week with the massive tech or the massive push down on everything.
Yeah, most definitely. Let me take everything on the daily here. All right. All right, so to explain the massive downside on the bigger markets, so on ES, NQ, SPY, QQQ, I want to start off with RTY, which is the Russell 2000, or the micro of it is M2K, which is what I have pulled up on my chart here. If you look, we had this head and shoulders pattern right here, which I actually traded and I entered early September on. And I've been riding this thing down. I have my last take profit is currently 5.5 points away, and then I've got a runner on it. I looked at this from September, and I thought that small caps is probably going to be a leading indicator for more downside in the large caps and in tech. So I was looking at this as the canary in the coal mine, another yellow bird. And now I didn't base my trading of NQ and ES specifically off of this. This was a signal to look out for a setup to go short. I didn't blindly go short just because one market was doing one thing. I didn't go blindly short on another market. I just said the conditions are getting set for me to react to this. I wasn't trying to predict. I was just looking at essentially the battlefield on a bigger picture and trying to look for those indicators and set the conditions in order for me to capitalize when the drop did come. So
let me just expand on that. So for all the audience out there, what he's saying is he's playing probabilities of these trades. Okay, he's not no one's saying that these setups work 100% of the time. They don't. What he's saying is the probability is in favor, and that is something you need to drill into your head too. Setups sometimes don't work. Play the probabilities, you'll win out in the end.
Yeah, most definitely. And if we look at MNQ over the same time period, you see there's kind of a what I call a dirty head and shoulders. We got the shoulder here, head here, another shoulder here. This lines up with the head and shoulders on RTY. We kind of broke it down and then came back above it and then broke back down here on that same level. So I saw this as kind of like a false breakout on the daily. This week we retested that neckline there, and you see we rejected it as we came up. Monday, Tuesday, we rejected it, and then Wednesday, Thursday has been just a straight sell-off into lows right here. So this is what I was looking at on the daily level this week. Now, we could have very easily just as well reclaimed that neckline and went up back above 15K. And I was set up for that because I wasn't in any long swings, any longer positions here on the daily time frame for NQ or ES. So that's just a larger look at larger time frames and how I was preparing it and looking at it for the smaller time frames.
I got to tell you, Yellow, with the big earnings reports that happened this week with Facebook, Google, Microsoft, Amazon, I honestly expected a little bit more bullish momentum later this week that we are just not seeing. You know, I was shocked. I'm shocked by it, to be honest.
You know, going into the earnings, I was a little apprehensive about seeing a big run up in tech, honestly. What the last two earnings cycles, the results have been somewhat mixed, but at the mention of AI, any tech company that mentioned AI, they just skyrocketed. They just went up. They did that the last two earnings cycles. This cycle, I think everyone is kind of overhearing about the AI. So I'm not saying like the AI bubble is bursting or anything, but the mention of AI is not going to carry mixed earnings up. And so I think basically that's why we are seeing more downside here. That's just my 2 cents on it. I'm not an expert on this macro stuff or, earnings or anything like that. That's not how I trade. That's not what I do. I'm strictly a TA trader and everything like that.
Next week should be interesting to see how the market reacts to Apple earnings, because Apple is, that's the stock of the stock market. Apple, pretty much. So yeah, it should be interesting to see how the market generally reacts, because I honestly think my initial feeling is that Apple misses, and it just continues to put downward pressure on the market.
Yeah, that definitely could happen. I mean, I am what people call a perma bear on the macro. I still think we've got more downside to go, definitely, but I definitely think this is just the beginning of the downside that we're seeing this week.
It's wild. Since you brought up AI, I'm going to give you something to read later. I want you to look up. It's a thought experiment, and anyone that's listening can do this. Look up the Chinese room as a thought experiment, and it will explain why AI could never take over society. And it's really fascinating read. I highly recommend you check that out. In your spare time this weekend. It's crazy. It's a crazy thought paradox, and I find those to be very interesting to play around with in my own head.
I know that's a dangerous place right there inside your head.
Yeah, it's a landmine and rabbit holes all over the place. All right. Well, I think that covers everything that I wanted to talk about. I hope everybody listening has a great weekend. Take some time away from the screens. Spend some time with your family, friends, whatever. Have a couple beers, whatever. Watch some football. Don't think about the stock market. Relax.
Yeah, definitely. Manage. Take some time. Definitely recharge that mental reserve. Definitely, that's what a lot of people struggle with, is they don't take time away from the charts and everything, and they just burn themselves out. So recharge that mental capital, and be ready to preserve it throughout the next week, because things are going to get wild.
They're going to get wild. So let's get wild. It's Friday. Shut the screens down even. You shouldn't even be training Friday afternoon, probably. You should be relaxing. But be that as it may, I hope everyone has a fantastic weekend. And I know I'll be here Monday morning, ready to go, fired up. I know my man Yellow is going to be ready to go and fired up. We're going to do another one on Monday. Hopefully help you guys make some money. Any sign off you'd like to do there, Yellow, for us?
Yeah, just everyone remember to plan your trades, trade your plan, preserve that mental capital, because it's more important than that monetary capital.
And everyone remember, where there is chaos, there is opportunity. Talk to you guys Monday.
All right, see ya.